Nithyananda, everybody. Welcome back. So, as we are preparing ourselves for the live Darshan, we're going to be learning about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the advent of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Sorry for the technical glitch. Yes. As we are learning about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was born on 3rd of January 1978 in the holy town of Tiruvannamalai in India. And on 17th of July 1981, at just the age of 3, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated into Bala Sannyas by the enlightened adepts and enlightened masters in Hinduism. The science of identifying incarnations is revealed very clearly in the Hindu tradition. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was identified as an incarnation at a very young age by Yogi Yogananda Puri. At the age of 16, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated to revive the Kailasa. As we can see in the photograph here, towards the left, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's Guru, Mata Vibhudananda Puri, has blessed the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with the Kamandalu and the Danda, which is given as an initiation to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And here we're looking at the early days where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, at a very young age itself, began the construction and revival of the entire mission of Sri Kailasa. As you can see, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was very young, the temple monastic complex towards the left, his Guru Mata Vibhudananda Puri, he himself built brick by brick, following the instructions and the guidance of his Guru. Similarly, at the age of 8, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism constructed and established the first Adinam, or the temple monastic complex, the Kailasa temple, in Tiruchengodu Adinam on 14th of April 2001. And in the year 2002, on 4th of November, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established the Adi Kailasa Sarvanya Peetham, which is the headquarters. Year 2004, at the age of 25, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism started conducting mass living enlightenment programs and conventions of the 7 energy bodies. As you can see in the photograph, there are huge amounts of crowds that started flocking in at a very young age itself. So these are the various establishments and the revival of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to establish Kailasa all around the world. As we can see, at the age of 27, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted various high-class and high-end programs. Similarly, in the year 2010 also, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continued to establish and create various mass enlightenment programs for the entire mass. On 18th of September 2015, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiated thousands into mass enlightenment in Kumbh Mela in Nasik. Of May 2016, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiated thousands into living enlightenment at the Kumbh Mela festival in Ujjain in India. Here is a brief coronation, the various, as we can look at right now. These are the various coronations of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. At the tender age of 10, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was coronated and ordained as the 233rd Guru Mahasadashiva of Kanchi Kailasa Sarvanya Peetham. following which he was coronated as the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamsa Surangi Samrajyam, then the present 23rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Dharma Mukti Swargapuram Adinam. He was also coronated as the 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Madurai Shyamala Pita Sarvanya Pitam and coronated as the Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akhada. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is also the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar of the Atal Akhada, and ultimately was elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a huge mass number of leaders, Hindu spiritual leaders, with over 1,000 Hindu leaders and pontiffs. Here, we're looking at an introduction to the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa, also the United States of Kailasa. Kailasa itself is a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, whose very vision is to live enlightenment and providing this science for the entire humanity. The mission of Kailasa is to revive and share the today's world practical applications of the greatest science that the authentic Hinduism has to contribute to the entire world, be it the science in the Hindu cosmic physics, Hindu alchemy, Hindu cosmology, Hindu biology, in various other topics and categories. At one point in time, there were over 56 nations that practiced all of these